Hello and welcome to another edition of Toys from the Attic. For today's episode, I thought I'd be taking a look at the 1990 Spider-Man's Punisher action figure. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at this guy. After watching his family get gunned down in several attempts on his life from the Mafia, Frank Castle decided to take his revenge by fighting back. With his ex-military training and arsenal, he is taken to the streets vowing to punish all those who would do evil. Okay, so here we have Spider-Man and Toy Biz's Punisher action figure. Now this guy, even though he appeared in the TV show, this sculpt on him is a lot more comic book accurate if anything else. In the TV show, his jumpsuit was a little bit more lightish blue and he came with a nice overcoat and his head didn't quite look quite like this. However, I am happy with this guy's sculpt and I can overlook the non-show accuracy. It was just kind of nice to have a good Punisher figure, although there are some little downsides I have with this guy. As I said before, his head sculpt is actually fairly decent. I like that little 5 o'clock shadow that's been painted in on his face. And yeah, his hair is all nicely swept back. He's very nicely sculpted and toned to really show that this is a guy who's actually been working out, really diligent in what he's trying to do. The only odd things that I have for this guy is actually the size of his hands. They just seem very, very small on him. I would have liked it if they were just a little bit bigger like they did for the Nick Fury line or action figure that came out way later. The other thing that I think is really odd is just his back right here, just to see how far scooped it is right there. I know they complain about female action figure or female characters being drawn or anything, but no human being has a spine that would actually jut out that far. It just seems very weird. His articulation is fairly decent. I mean, his head can move side to side, his arms move up and down, his elbows move, and his legs can go up and down as well, and he has a little bit of elbow or knee articulation right here. You can also see some nice little sculpting right here on his little gun holster, the little pouches that are painted and go all the way around. One little odd bit, though, is he has this little hole drilled in on his back. I'm not really sure why they have that on there. He didn't come with any accessories that actually fit for that, and it's just something that seems a little bit weird. Probably there was going to be some other accessory that he came with, but they abandoned that over time. I'm not really sure why. I will also apologize that he actually came with like a little knife that actually fit in here. Because it was so small and didn't fit in there all that well, it was something that was, well, obviously easily lost. The last few accessories that he comes with is actually a nice little gun that he can hold in his hand, and even though it's not a realistic looking gun, it still gives that look and feel. You can actually put some missiles in here, and I guess I'm not really sure what these are supposed to be. They could either be some sort of goop that I guess that gets shot out, or probably more accuracy, it's supposed to be the muzzle flare that's being shot out. But the little spring is actually fairly strong, and you get a pretty good distance with it. It goes almost about a good foot or foot and a half, so that's fairly good for a spring that's held up over these years. This one I think shoots a little bit further. Yeah, it actually does pretty good. Despite the few little nitpicks that I have with this guy, he's still a pretty decent figure and one that I'm actually happy to display on my shelf, whether it's just by himself or with the rest of my Spider-Man line of action figures. Anyways, this has been a look at Toy Biz and Spider-Man's Punisher action figure. Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, please feel free to like, subscribe, or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear on the show in the future.